Please welcome to the show, Laurie Miller. Hey, Laurie, how are you? Yay!
I'm good. It's so nice to see you again. Well, it's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Likewise, it's been so long. I didn't even realize, but
How
I think
long has it? I guess it's been 4 years.
at least two. Yeah, maybe. I've honestly lost track of time since the pandemic because I
I
feel like
get.
I'm always off by 2 years now.
I know. It
So
doesn't feel
weird.
like it was that long ago. It feels like it was 2 years ago.
Yeah. But it's great to chat with you and catch up because I know a lot has happened since. I think the conversation we had last time was about, the origins of Exposed, which became Exposé. And uh, I was grateful that you were able to provide so much information that honestly, so many folks responded to our chat, thanking you for explaining the history and thanking you for still being out there and thanking you for starting, off this group that is, has so many hit songs now.
It
Um,
was really so sweet. I felt that too. And I was kind of surprised. Like, yeah, Laurie put her group back together. I was like, that was like a revelation to me that
yeah.
somebody was looking at it that way. And, I am doing it because I love it so much. And I love doing the costumes. I love doing the choreography. I love working with Lewis and I love the music. There's, a lot of people think there's some other vendetta or something going on, but it's not. It's all one for all and all for one,
Right, right.
you
So
know?
so yeah, so it's official now. I think back then you had done some performances and maybe some sort of, ad hoc folks to work with you, but now you've got a new group together. You're working again with Lewis, with DJ Martinee, who started this all off back in
Yeah.
1984, writing Point of No Return back then. So tell us about the new group.
Well, it's been a few incarnations already. It's been really a challenge to find the right three girls. And
Mm,
the first incarnation of this new group, we did our first show was August 10th, and was with Unicia and Jesse, and they were amazing. And ironically and weirdly, they looked just like Ali and Sandra
yeah,
from the
right, totally.
original lineup,
Yeah.
and everybody was kind of blown away by that. But then, things happen as we're going along, and Jesse has a 10-year-old son, or I think he's actually 12 now, and that requires a lot of time and energy, and she just felt like she couldn't dedicate as much time as was needed. And Unicia has a whole nother thing that she's into as far as her genre of music and what she
Mm,
does. And so they decided that when we had this little break that they wanted to still remain as, one of the original reincarnations of the group, but we wanted to try to put in two new girls. So, I'm always open to like see what the universe is going to present to us. And
sure.
then Karina came in, who's actually the daughter of one of the band members that works with Fro Sosa from Nuclear Valdez, who was the original band that did a lot of the sounds and the music for Expose. And she
Wow.
came in and did this amazing vocal, and she's a ballerina and she's an actress and she's into theater, so she's just like heaven sent, to
Hmm.
work with her. And she feels so thrilled to be part of this because her parents, that's how old we are. She's young. She's in her, like, she's 20, in her 20s, late 20s. And she just feels like this is such a learning experience for her, and to be able to honor the group. And maybe one day you'll have her on and let her speak for herself. I was just talking to her this afternoon. So she's just so thrilled to be part of it and to be doing it, and doing it for the love of it, and just to create this energy again, and bring it back to everybody like the original version. So yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, see,
the cost.
it's amazing that it's a legacy. That's so exciting. Yeah. But the way you
Is it really
describe,
48, 40 something years old? Is that song really that old? It doesn't feel like
I
it's
know,
so,
right? It's crazy. I know.
it still feels current to me.
Yeah, and the great thing about, I mean, it's, thank goodness DJ Martinez is still making music today, but that song holds up. I mean, if that song were to come out today, the '84 version would come out today, it'd still be a hit without, you don't have to change much. That sound is something about it that is just, I don't know.
I
Uh,
always wanted to do that ballad version. And when he presented that and showed me his arrangement and the sound of it and Karina's voice, I was, oh, God, I just love it so much. I think it's so brilliant
so
what
the
they
group is,
did.
we should say the group is Oh Baby, which is, comes from the lyric, I believe, right? From the,
Oh, baby.
I love that. That's so clever.
We had to change the name. We actually got a cease and desist that we couldn't use Exposed, even though that was our original name.
Oh,
The
that's
girls
silly.
today found that
Hmm.
that was We could talk about it. I don't
Yeah.
mind, and I kind of get it. It was, but I don't at the same time. So they felt it was too similar to Exposé, and they bought the name Exposé, so they have the rights to use it for performances. So if we're coming out saying we're exposed, what I and a thing that I kind of don't get that I think kind of bites them back is that it was better, I think, to be exposed than now to be formerly of Exposé when we're actually using the name
Right.
Exposé. So I can say that I'm formerly of UX Exposé, but
Hmm.
we're performing as Oh Baby. So we changed the name. Like I'm not going to go to court and try to fight
Yeah.
that and prove and whatever. It's not even about that. There's not a competition. This is like I said, for the good of all, right?
Hmm.
It's for them too. I think any energy that we bring out concerning Exposé and that music gives energy to them, and I hope it helps them to book more and do more, and maybe one day we'll
Absolutely.
all perform together. Can you imagine?
Yes, of
They're listening.
course. You
They're
had me
listening.
thinking about all these like tribute bands that have no connection to the original, and they
Yeah,
name them something after the band that's clever or close, and
yeah,
it only helps. Yeah, it's for fans. Another way for fans to experience the music that they love that's created by the original group or whatever. That's I don't know. I
yeah.
could,
And
I could,
to honor Lewis and
yeah,
the original look and the choreography and all of that is just, we invited them. Actually, they didn't want to participate, they didn't want to be part of it, so it's okay.
yeah.
It's all okay, but there's nothing going on like that. So I just like to say that so that people
Hmm.
don't think that there's some kind of vendetta or we're trying to prove something. We're just loving it and loving the music and loving the opportunity to go out and share it and spread the energy and have that exchange again. I'm not done yet.
Yeah, I could do I won't now, but I could do a whole show on just the lawsuits in pop culture that drive me crazy. And obviously, this didn't amount to a lawsuit, but even the idea of it just makes me so frustrated.
Oh,
What
8-page cease and desist, tell
I
you.
it's whatever. It's
It's kind
fine.
of,
Just as an aside, Laura, you don't have to say anything. This is just the attorney and me, and I don't practice where you live. But you could have won that lawsuit if you had unlimited funds because it's nonsense. All right, whatever. You did. That's not Laurie saying that. That's me. So look, you mentioned Karina and her background, and I know your background, and I know one of the things that you did with Expose and Exposed before that was, it wasn't just the music, like you alluded to, the choreography, the look. Are you now with Oh Baby? Are you doing that again?
yeah,
Crafting this?
yeah.
Okay.
But today's version, and then every
Hmm.
time I go to Lewis and we start working on the show tracks, which is what we were doing this morning, it's like it changes it. And he's not coming from a choreographer's point of view, but it's
Yeah.
so cool. It's so good. And
Yeah.
I think everybody's just going to, I hope, lose their minds again because it's so groovy and it's so funky and it's so freestyle and it's so Latino and it's so everything. It's just the beat just makes it so that you cannot stand still or
Yeah.
something's wrong with you if you are.
Yeah. Yeah. I always
Yeah,
am suspicious about people who aren't moved by music.
right. And that happened at the last show. There was a girl came right up front. I had broken my toe the day before the show,
Oh
my
no.
pinky toe, like shattered it on
Oh
my
gosh.
rebounder. I walked by it and smacked this steel leg. And it's fine. The actress, the performer in me is like, the show must go on. I can do it. I was rehearsing in socks and everything. We're getting ready. And it's like 10 o'clock at night. We got to get to the club. We're going on at 10:45. And I go to put my dance boot on. I was like, oh no, there's no way. There's just no way. And the girls are like, just wear your slippers. I'm like, no, there's no way I'm wearing slippers on stage. So after like running around trying to figure out what am I gonna do, I had these like sort of sandals that are a platform that are all Velcro straps. So I put on like thigh high
Oh.
socks, and we showed up and we did the show. But I don't know how I got off on that
Well, you said there was
tangent.
someone standing. It came close to the stage.
Oh yeah, so there's a girl, and they're like, nobody's gonna look at your feet, nobody's gonna notice. And we go in and we get up on stage and we do our opening number, and there's this girl standing right in front, like staring at my feet and what I'm wearing. Just staring at me like, okay, I broke my toe. All right, that's why I'm wearing these. And I have to have them on today, but I had them on with like
Oh.
thigh-high socks.
Right. You
And so
made
I
it.
think, of course, the first thing she's looking at, she's like, I was like, what is that?
You mentioned that you were getting ready to go on. I think you said 10:45.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this. Near me in Cleveland, there's a club that's going to open up, and it's going to be focusing on 80s and 90s music and dancing. And So far, the plan is I'm gonna be DJing some of the nights there in April.
Oh,
But
great.
but the dancing starts at 10, and
Yeah.
being in my mid-50s, I thought, "I don't know that I would go to a
Can't
club
we
where I
start
had
at
to."
7?
Yeah, I know, right? But you're not going on till later too, so, is that a
I know, I don't like it. It's like
okay.
you just gotta get yourself revved up, and but, it is quite a process for us to get ready because I do everybody's hair and everybody's makeup. They'll do, like, their base stuff, and then I get in there and draw on them and do crazy things to their hair and apologize the whole time. So when you take this out, be really careful. But yeah, it takes a while to get into those characters, but that's kinda the cool thing about it, as being an actress and, also for Karina, and I'm actually, like, kinda shy, not so much now, but I was. So to put the makeup, the tribal,
Mm,
thing and turn into that character just frees us to be expressive like that and to portray that energy and that look. And that's kind of what I love about it. It's not just we're not just putting on t-shirts and jeans and I mean that's cool and that's great and maybe one day we will just do that. Something simple. Now
right.
there'll be a few rhinestones, come on.
Right,
But
you gotta have those. But do you find the audiences are, I guess, what are the age of the audiences? Are they
it's
fans that have been
us.
fans? Okay.
It's you and me.
Yeah.
And I think that, the idea was because I'm the oldest one, I mean, I was in my 30s when I was in Exposé, so do the math, right?
Yeah.
But we have like a couple of generations. So when girls like myself are out in the audience and they see me up there, it's kind of like, go,
Yeah.
sister. You know what I mean? Like they like it. So I get at times if I think about it too much, I get a little self-conscious and I think like, come on, how long can I do this for? But I'm really have a lot of energy and a lot of love and for me I'm a yoga teacher as well,
Right,
that being on stage and being in front of people and having that exchange is just I love it.
right.
I love it. I don't think I'll ever be done.
Yeah, you're done when you're done. I mean, right? If your
Right.
body is cooperating and your mind is cooperating, yeah.
My plant-based lifestyle,
Yes. Oh gosh, yes. No kidding. Yeah, I just made a switch to my diet. So I'm not there yet, but cutting out a lot of bad stuff and exercising a whole lot more.
good because you have no idea what's in your food. We
Oh
don't
gosh.
know really
Yeah.
and it's good for us all to be aware and just be grateful and have gratitude. It's
Yes.
everything.
So you mentioned that there was a ballad version of Point of No Return, and for folks who don't know, there's a bunch of versions now that Lewis made. They're all fantastic. The ballad is like mind blowing because you never would have expect. I never thought of it, hey, well, this would be great as a ballad, but it's fantastic as a ballad. Uh,
I didn't even know he was working on that, but in my mind, I'm thinking, Lewis, because I was sitting in the studio with him and the girls, and I was like, I always thought this would make a cool country song, like
mhm.
Almond Road, sealed just like a dream. And I was singing it like that. And then 2 weeks later, here's the ballad. But I mean, what he did with it is, and I thought he was kind of doing a nod to Teddy Swims, but he said, no, it's more, well, I'm not going to say. I'm going to see if anybody else picks up on it. But the
Yeah.
arrangement, the strings, Karina's vocal, I'm on, of course, on the air and the background vocals and the bridge. But it's just feels so cool. I mean, I could imagine that being played at any wedding or any anniversary or
Yeah. Right.
and just like I think people want to dance because Lewis doesn't really want us to do it in the show because it's slow, but it grooves so hard. Like some people, we still wanted that chance to kind of get close and
Mhm.
move like that as well as jumping up and down. And
Yeah. 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 Especially when when you get older, you need a slower song every now and
yeah,
then. Take a break. Yeah. I heard it and I pictured imagining like I see like a 1930s or 40s club and it's like a noir movie and
yeah.
everyone's sort of dressed in that sort of style and
Well, maybe
smoky.
we'll do that for the
Oh
video.
yeah,
Put
black and
us all
white
in
maybe.
gowns and sort of evoke a little bit of the Supremes in there
Oh,
and
oh
just backlit, kind of smoky.
yeah.
Although nobody wants to smoke anymore.
No, yeah, no, no. Uh, are there new songs too?
Yes. There's some really cool new songs, and there's some songs that I've written, and there's some songs that
Oh,
Karina has written. So there's a lot of opportunity, and that was one of the things that we wanted to do because of the nature of the putting the group together, is to be a platform for the girls, for the new girls that are younger, to jump off on and do their own thing as well. I really want to support that. It was very concerned about the agreement that we made up with the girls so that it was really fair, because I know I've talked to you before. My original agreement was terrible. So
sure.
why I never signed it, and why I still have never received any royalties or any of the things that I should have received from doing the work that I did. And, even at the time, I think it's not everybody, even Lewis, because he was so focused on the music and he was always in the studio, that he didn't see really what went into putting the show together, and
Right.
putting the girls together and putting an act together, and seeing the Grammys this year was great because there was so much theatrics in it. And
Right.
I really appreciated that.
Do you find
Yeah.
it's different working with talent today than it was? I mean, at the time, you and the group, obviously around the same age, or how you came to Lewis is probably different, and I know how he found the next three were different.
Mhm.
Um, but finding talent today, I don't. Is it? I guess is it different? Is it?
It's really different, and it's really difficult because the music business has changed so much, and people get this conception that, if you go online and you go on YouTube, and that maybe you'll get, you'll hit. But the reality is there's thousands of songs being released every day.
Yes.
I mean, hundreds of thousands.
Right.
So to stand out is really quite a feat. To be able to come in and work with somebody who's got such a great background and great history in the business, who's so appreciated and so honored for what he's done and what he started, is a great bounding board to start on.
Hmm.
So, and like with anything in theater or in this business, it's about being in the right place at the right time, with the right sound, with the right person there to hear it and take it to the next right person to hear it and
Yeah.
take you to where you're supposed to be. Sometimes it's just pre-written. We really don't have much control over it.
Yeah.
You
And I
know?
don't. I guess I often do the old man shakes fist at cloud kind of things where I lament the younger generations, but it seems like so many younger folks are just expecting they can just be at home and stay in their home and do something on their phone or with their computer, and
Yeah.
that's it, I'm done, and not do all the hard work that I know you did certainly back in the day and are doing
It's just a
today
lot of
still.
time,
Yeah.
to especially put three girls together that are so synchronized together and choreographed. Yeah, and it's just the integrity's different, and people don't respond like they used to, or maybe
Yeah.
they'll get back to you in a week or
Oh,
so, or
yes.
or they say they're going to show up on this time, and then they show up. I have no patience for
Yes.
that.
Mhm.
So, once I was, the way I was raised is like, if you're 5 minutes early, you're on time.
Right.
So, and it was strict. And when I was in shows and doing theater, it was like there was always somebody standing there in the wing ready to take your spot. So
Mhm.
you showed up and you were ready and you knew your part, unless you didn't care. And I
Yeah.
just think the integrity isn't as high as it used to be. I don't know.
Yeah, and
Uh,
I wonder if it's because there aren't obviously there's thousands of people still competing, more now because these platforms make it that you can, but at the same time, because it's so easy to just publish something and there are no gatekeepers, who is going to hold you accountable anymore, to
yeah.
a standard, I guess.
Yeah. I really, I know nothing.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
I think
Frustrating,
I
huh?
know, but I know nothing. I
I
just
know.
know that, this is presenting itself and it feels right in my heart.
Yes.
And it feels right with Lewis and I are having fun together. And Karina's amazing. We're still have a not 100% solid on our third girl. That we had this other girl, Nina, who came with us, and the day after she was like all in, she fell and broke her
Oh
ankle, like
goodness. Mhm.
bad, like to where she's in a boot for 2 months at least. So she felt like she just couldn't go on. And
Sure.
you just don't know. Everybody's got their story and their thing. And to me, I just think, well, it's just not meant to be. So we'll see what the universe presents. And if it
Yep.
happens, great.
Mhm.
And if not, we'll pivot. We'll
It was
go to the next thing.
It was great. It's great seeing some of the clips that you've shared of some of your performances with the girls, because it seems like the old photos I've seen of you performing, or the old, video that you have available,
Huh?
from back in the 80s. There's a similar vibe, and I don't know, it's so fantastic, almost like, I don't know, there's like no time has
It
taken place, or it's
was.
the same. Yeah.
And the crowd there, we did that one show at Renaissance, Club Renaissance in Miami, and the Coral Gables, and the crowd was just so loving and so into it, and it was like going back in time, because it was always like that. I mean, you can't take that away from the original group that worked so hard, and we did so many shows, and we got such great response from the fans and from the crowds, and we would spend hours autographing pictures, and to not acknowledge that energy happened to catapult the group onto where it is today and what they're doing today. And those guys are great. I wish we were all friends, but for some reason they don't really want to be. But that's all part of it. It's all part of the
Yep.
story, right?
Yeah. Yes. Where you were and how you got there. And folks, whatever.
I know
Again,
it's frustrating. It is, but that's okay,
home.
right?
Yes, very good. So I know you've got some gigs coming up, at least one coming up in early March. Can you tell us
Yes,
about that?
March 7th, we're going to be at Cafe 27. When I looked it up, I was like, Louis, this is a truck stop. He said, no, 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 no. No, no, no. It is. It is. But it's outside. It's in Davie, Florida, which is kind of where I am today. I'm in Davie at my sister's house. It's on Friday nights, once a month. DJ Felix Sama is there with his freestyle party, and it's slamming,
Oh,
and
that's
it's
awesome.
packed, and they're all having the best time of their lives. So Felix has also done a remix of Point of No Return. So we're doing our release party on March 7th
Oh,
at Cafe 27 out in Davie, out in Southwest Ranch, as they call it. And that will be with introducing the new lineup, the newer lineup. And then 2 days after that, we're going to be doing Cayocho, which is monumental because that was where the original Exposé did our first show, was at Cayocho in 1984, I believe it was. So
wow.
to go back there, and Louis has done this other mix with a rapper whose name I cannot say, but he's from Jamaica, I'll say that, and he sounds
Okay.
so incredible, and we're hoping that he's going to be there with us to just throw it down with
Wow.
this version that we put together with him and Felix Sama, DJ Sama, and DJ Martinee. So it's going to be a full party on stage. So it's like it's a whole thing. It's the girls, but it's also the DJs who are involved, and a rap version of Point of No Return, as well as, the ballad and all the other mixes that we have.
Right. And new songs too.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we'll do any new songs
Oh,
there.
okay.
We'll definitely be doing Point of No Return, Exposed to Love, I Know You Know, which features Unicia, who's not with us any longer, but we've got a new remix of that as well, kind of a throwback. So it's more like the original version, but new.
That's awesome.
So,
Very
and then these other, what Louis calls booty music. Have you ever heard of booty music?
No, I haven't. Is that
It
like, does it
definitely
shake your
makes you
booty?
move. Yeah, it makes you move. I was like, what is this? Oh my God, I love it. It's so much fun. So it's going to be a great party. And there'll be some of our other friends and other acts are going to be there as well from the Miami 305 area. So
Oh,
it's going to be fun.
yeah. I
Come
think
on
all
down.
music. Oh, I would love to. Yes, please. If you're listening, go down. I would love to. So I think all music from Miami is booty music. I think that's just the.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the Latino thing is you got to move.
Yeah.
It just makes
Hips.
you move. I
The
love
hips
it.
start going.
And you'd love to hear from everybody. We love to hear what you think and all your thoughts either way. And and thank you so much. You're a great interviewer. I really appreciate you.